I was asked recently, what makes someone worth loving even if they've done me wrong? I would say that my life has been very giving. My life has been very giving all of my years that I've been on this earth. And I would say that I feel very benefited to have experienced so much. And I've never said these words before. This is what's really coming to my head and how I really feel from my heart. I feel very benefited to have been able to experience so many things, so many emotions, and to have felt them so deeply each time that they have had their occurrence, basically. And what makes someone worth it to me to keep loving them even though they have done me wrong, is forgiveness and keeping the mindset that I want their existence. If I'm going to be part of their existence, I want their existence to have as much light when they encounter me as it possibly can have. Because, like I said, my life has been very giving. I have experienced so many things, so many emotions, so many instances with so many people. And from a very young age, for me, I have always wanted my experience to be remembered in a positive light only. When I was younger, I used to give notes to people. I used to give notes to my sisters. I used to give notes to my parents, my teachers, whoever really inspired me and made me feel deeply for them, they were getting a note from me. And it was a regular thing. And I made sure that people got these notes because I wanted my appreciation to be shared. I wanted them to know that they mattered to somebody, even if it felt like they didn't. I wanted it to be like when my existence clashed with theirs, there was always going to be cosmos. And when I think about the people that have done me wrong, or the people that I no longer talk to, or the people that are still in my life that have done me wrong and they're still here, I have always had a want for there to be better occasions in the future. I have always wanted to feel those cosmos again with every person that I have encountered. When you've done me wrong, yeah, it hurts. Yeah, I feel what either was intended or unintended, but I know that it's not going to last very long. I hate being mad. I cannot stay mad for the life of me. I It takes so much energy out of me to stay mad at somebody. It takes so much energy out of me to recount what has been done to me over and over and over again and feel those emotions. And I already have limited energy to give in each day. And I would much rather that be something that touches people in the places where light doesn't always touch. I would rather that my experience be healing to them. I would rather my experience be warm, to be comforted, to be remembered with a good light rather than one that brought darkness or pain or trauma. And I realized at a very young age that not everybody thinks the same way as I do about these things, but I have always been full of love. There was a time when I was young that I felt like I had a tank of love inside of me and it was overflowing. And I used to cry because I felt like I didn't have enough people to give it to. I would cry myself to sleep with that thought. And even to this day, thinking about that, speaking about that out loud, brings somewhat a bit of a shock to me because I feel that every day, and I am working to have my actions meet that thought. So when I go out in public, I try to smile. I'm working, my goal is to get to the point where I have a conversation with somebody. I want my anxieties to be overridden by the little tokens of love that I'd like to give in a day. I've had so many friends that have been authentically themselves and have brought on the most amazing aspects of love that I have ever experienced. And having encounters with those friends, understanding who they are as people, bringing them into my life, intertwining our lives in different ways, it has shown me that the people that you have in your lives, the friends that you pick, the family members, even if, there's some parts of them that you don't always smile at, they build little parts of you. And when you're authentically yourself, those parts shine through. And I have so many friends that I have just experienced different versions of what love is from them, and it just brings me such awe, and it makes me admire them in ways that I had never thought to admire somebody. And I realized so many times, like, there was like the little pang of jealousy with these things and these moments that they experienced, but there was no reason for me to be jealous because I could create my own. And that is what my aspiration is. That's what my aspiration is with this. That's what my aspiration is with life and falling in love with living. Because there's so much love to give. There's so much little bits. It doesn't have to be in these grandiose waves and love bombs and these singing and shouting from the rooftops and mountaintops of love expressions. Sometimes it's in little notes. Sometimes it's in a song. Sometimes it's in a verse. Sometimes it's in a saying. And finding the ways that I can bring love in small to large is what keeps me going and what helps me to find it to be worth it, to overlook the wrong that's been done to me. I have always wanted to be there for someone, regardless of what they've done to me. For example, my siblings. Everyone knows that there is always something that you will fight about, something that you won't agree about, something that will just bring some sort of negative energy to the relationship. And even when that has happened, I have always gone to apologize to my siblings. I've always gone to want to comfort them, tell them I miss them, tell them I love them, tell them how important and worth it they have always been to me. And because I have done that, because I have been there to listen to them, because I have been there to encourage them, because I have been there to see them as the authentic people that they are and love them the way that they have asked to be loved, it has always overlooked the negative energy moments that we've shared. I feel entirely blessed to have the siblings that I have. I feel that I always want them to be better than me. I always want to be able to encounter every step and milestone that they have achieved in their lives. I love giving them their applause, their standing ovations, and to be present for those moments only comes from the ability to have shown them love even when they didn't deserve it. To be privy to those experiences, their experiences, to get to the stage of being able to call my sister and her say, "You're one of my best friends," and experience that glow and that warmth inside of me, because going outside of our relationship as siblings to also now have the new label of friend matters and carries such weight to me. And I love that. I love being a fan of everybody. I don't think there's a single person who I don't talk to anymore that if they crossed paths with me today, that I would not try my best to still give them some sort of applause because they were able to cross my path. That means that they were able to stick out some of these hard moments in life to make it again to cross my path. We don't have to talk. We don't have to say hello. We don't have to even be friends again, but they're still here. There are so many things that bring people to want to be at the ends of themselves, quite literally. And I feel like people don't think about that. I feel like there's so many instances, so many people who are walking on the edge that all it takes is one more thing. And I would hate for me to be that one more thing. I would hate to be one of the things that causes that cliff to be the last thing that someone sees. Because I've been there before. I've been there before. I feel like, and I say this because 2016, 2017 is kind of a trend right now. People showing the parties that they used to go to and stuff like that. But I don't know if people really talk about the depressed side of the internet at that time. And I specifically am talking about Tumblr. There were so many lives on Tumblr that were intertwined. There were so many lives on Tumblr that ended. There were so many lives on Tumblr that were quite literally feeling like they were shouting into the void about what their experience in this life was. And that was heavy in 2014, 15, 16, 17. And I was part of that. To experience that, I feel like that was also a great asset to what I am today and what I choose to be, because there were so many cries for help. There were so many people trying to figure out this life, and many of them didn't make it to where I am today. And so I don't ever I don't I don't ever really feel that there is someone that doesn't deserve a little love note from me. You know, I don't feel that at all. Thanks for listening.